Yeah, so I did get cut off because I do have only 15 minutes for my video. So um, let me start with that again. So sound reasoning is it clear and does it make sense? So what I was saying was in section 7, the answer was yes, the reasoning in this text is sound. So it's the same as before. You are going to answer in a complete sentence. And then it says, the author presents a set of connected ideas that help the reader understand the evidence about why locally grown food is a better choice. So it is, you answer in a complete sentence and then you explain whether or not the evidence presented helps to support the claim. And you tell why. Remember, explain is just to tell why. Now, sufficient evidence, you are going to directly state the claim and that helps you. But for sound reasoning, that's not necessarily something you have to do. For sound reasoning, it is literally just, does the evidence actually support what the author is trying to say? Once again, please look at your previous lessons, either the video or the text excerpt, and dig into that answer if you are still not sure what that means. You can also reach out to your teacher. So the next set of questions is going to be multiple choice. These ones that we just went over, we went over them in detail because they may or may not be multiple choice questions. You may have to go directly in the text and find exactly what they're looking for. However, these questions are multiple choice. And so we are just going to review how you would answer these questions. What would you look for? Obviously, I always tell my students what you want to do is read the question, read all of the answer choices, and then think about your gist again as you are answering. So the first one says, which of the following pieces of evidence, if the author chose to include it, would be irrelevant to the author's claim? That term irrelevant means not applicable. I always tell my students that means it has nothing to do with nothing, right? And so for this one, they will try to trip you up. You guys already know anytime they make a test, they are trying to trip you up for some reason, but it is going to be most likely about the topic. So like I said before, if it's telling you, if the claim is that cows are supposed to eat grass, then the irrelevant piece of evidence that they have is going to be about cows, but it won't be about them eating grass. It'll be about something different. So it's about the topic, but not the claim that the author is making. It does not directly support it. And so the next one is, how does the author respond to a conflicting viewpoint that is made? Remember, a conflicting viewpoint is the other side. The claim is clearly stated. Stated in this text, it's stated in our text excerpt, it's stated in the video. We know what the claim is. We also know what the claim is because it is one of our first questions up here, right? So then how does the author respond to the other side? How do they respond to what someone else might say? And basically, to answer this question, you want to think about, well, what do they say, they being the author, to make you agree with them and not the other side. Remember, because this is how does the author respond? This is not asking for the conflicting viewpoint. It is asking you how the author responds to that viewpoint. So what does the author say to make you agree with them? If you need a memory jog, that is going to be our previous lesson. There are going to be examples of that. This is multiple choice. So it is going to say by referencing X, Y, and Z, by referencing research, by referencing facts, by referencing an expert. It is going to be referencing something. So what do they say to make you agree with them and not the other side? So then the next few have to do with paragraph structure and key concepts. So this question says, well, what type of paragraph structure does the author use? This one is pretty straightforward. We have 4 different ones that we have reviewed in this module. The first one is narrative, and that tells a story. As I always tell you guys, tell my students, this isn't going to be tangled, right? This is not going to have animals that are talking to you. This isn't going to have a prince and a princess. It's not that type of story. It's not like Summer of the Mariposas, right? In a informational text, telling a story means recalling an event that happened. It is a story, but it's not presented the same way. So please be careful when we're thinking about narratives. It is recalling something that happened, recalling an event, and telling that anecdote, right? The next one is expository, which is explaining information. Um, it may also explain, it might give you information, explains or gives information, however you feel comfortable saying that. The next one is descriptive. And obviously that describes something. More specifically, it uses words to create an image in your mind. For this one, it's not going to say the sun is shining. It's going to say she peered out of her window as the rays beamed down upon her shining face and heated her. Like, it's going to literally make you create that picture in your mind as you are reading. It is going to use lots of details. And finally, it may be compare and contrast, which just gives similarities and differences of things. And by things, people, places, object, events, similarities, and differences. And so then the next question that is going to be asked is, how does the quote contribute to developing a specific concept? They are going to give you a specific quote to read. What they want to know is, how does what you're reading contribute to developing whatever it is that they're saying, whatever that claim is, whatever that statement is. So basically, how is the evidence, the quote, and your concept, I like to say the gist, connected or related? That is what that question is asking. And then the very last question on your test is going to be, why does the author include a specific paragraph and what role does it play in the author's purpose? So for this one, it is multifaceted. You will have to go back to that paragraph and find the gist of just that paragraph. That is going to be your most helpful thing that you can do. And then you're going to have to think about the author's overall purpose. You don't have to think too hard because refer to the first thing on your chart. The author's purpose is clearly stated. So then, what does the paragraph tell you? And how does it connect to what the author is saying as a whole, right? So once again, that is, what is the specific paragraph telling you, and what is the author saying as a whole? And that is his purpose. And so what they really want to know is, how does that connect? Okay, if you know what the paragraph's telling you, and if you know what the author's purpose is, you kind of put them together, and that is how you're going to find your answer to this multiple choice question. You do have to make sure that you go back and look at that paragraph. You want to make sure that you go back and look at the author's purpose that you chose. You are going to put those together, um, and that is going to give you how that paragraph connects to the purpose. It's going to give you the role that that paragraph plays, the reason why the author wrote it. Always think about, well, why would the author put this paragraph in here if this is what he is trying to tell me? And so this is going to be your study guide for your assessment. It is going to break down step by step, okay, this is how I should answer these questions. These are the things that I should think of. If you have any other questions, please make sure that you reach out to your teacher before your test comes up so that you can get a better understanding. You're also welcome to look at your previous notes. These are the exact same questions from the past 2 or 3 lessons that we have done as a class. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.